Hello everyone. So today we are going to do series solution of differential equations. We have already done few methods of finding solutions for differential equations in which we find complementary function and particular integral. Today we are going to know how to find series solution. What is series? A series is the summation form of some powers of x that we have done in previous videos also. What is the meaning of infinite series? So in this video we will do one particular type of differential equation which is known as Bessel's differential equations, and it has some particular solution which is known as Bessel's function. These are known as special functions also. Special functions means which are already pre-named or has been derived based on the required which may suit that differential equation in general. So generally these are named on their finders, whoever has given those solutions, or maybe sometimes based on the problems which has to be solved using these equations. So this Bessel's equation, today we are doing finding the solving Bessel's equation leading to Bessel's function. Bessel's function is denoted by Jnx, which is also known as, if we read what is Jnx, Jnx is Bessel's functions of order n of kind 1. This is what we say, that is what we read Jnx. Now to solve the Bessel's equation, first we need to know what is Bessel's equation. So Bessel's equation, Bessel's differential equation is given by x square d2y by dx square plus x dy by dx plus x square minus n square whole bracket y equal to 0. This is the particular form, standard form, which we should remember. What is Bessel's equation? This is Bessel's differential equation of order n. This n we read it of order n. Okay, so do not get confused with, since we generally how we find out the order of differential equation by the highest derivative of the differential equation, but this is some particular form, some different form, special form. So we say this is the Bessel's equation of order n. Okay, so if I change it to m, that may be of order m or n by 2. So that's how you should understand it. Now what is n? N is non-negative real value. N is non-negative real integer. Okay, so this is the value. Now we have to find the series solution for this. So how we define series? So let's assume, what is the series solution? Solution means finding the value of y which may satisfy this equation. So let's make it equation number 1. So let value of y, or I assume the solution as summation over ar x power m plus r summation over r varying from 0 to infinity. So this is the solution I have assumed. Since we have to take the series, so this is the form of series, and series is always in terms of powers of x with some constant. So I have taken in general ar and powers of x, since r is known to us 0 to infinity. So we cannot say that it will be 1 and x square x cube. If I remove this m, what series I am taking? 1 plus x square plus x cube, like that. So we cannot say that this powers of x will be like that only. In general, it may be anything. Once after doing the derivation, we can conclude that what may be the powers of x. That is why we have introduced this unknown value m here, which we have to find out. So now if you see this solution, which are the values which we don't know? We don't know constants, we don't know values of m. So if we are able to find out these two, we can say that this is the solution. Now if I have assumed this as the solution of equation number 1, then it must satisfy this equation. So let's find out dy by dx and d2y by dx square here. Whatever we do, this is finding the unknown coefficient method. We assume something, we make it satisfy the given equation, and based on the comparison of the values on left and right hand side, we try to find out the values of unknown terms, unknown constants, or unknown constants only, right? So that is the only method we are going to apply here. So for that, first we need to find dy by dx and d2y by dx square. So dy by dx means differentiating y with respect to x. So this summation, this is constant, r is varying from 0 to infinity. AR, this is again constant. Differentiation of x power m plus r will be m plus r x power m plus r minus 1. Simple differentiation of powers of x. Similarly, d2y by dx square will be, again differentiate this value. R is varying from 0 to infinity. AR m plus r, this is constant. Now if we differentiate this again, m plus r minus 1 x power m plus r minus 2. Now substitute these values in equation number 1. So if we substitute it here, what we are getting? X square summation over r, AR m plus r m plus r minus 1 x power m plus r minus 2 plus x summation AR m plus r x power m plus r minus 1 plus x square minus n square summation AR x power m plus r, and summation is varying from 0 to infinity, so that if we don't even write, that is okay. So it's not mark it for here. Now simplify these values, take all, multiply all the powers of x in that particular term. So this will lead to summation AR m plus r m plus r minus 1. This x square multiplied with this leads to m plus r powers x plus summation AR, this is multiplied here, so m plus r x power m plus r plus, open this bracket, summation over AR, when x square is multiplied here, x power m plus r plus 2 minus n square or n square x power m plus r equal to 0. So now you take the similar powers together and let's see what we are getting. So after this, we just segregate the same powers of x together. So wherever x power m plus r is there, we take all the terms together. So we have x power m plus r here in this and the last term. So we can see AR is common. So I have taken AR common. Then in bracket, this gives this value m plus r minus 1 plus this value m plus r, and this gives minus n square, and this is again common, plus the last term equal to 0. Now when we simplify this term, this m plus r is multiplied with this m plus r whole square minus m plus r, which is cancelled with this m plus r. So we are left with minus n square here, x power m plus r plus AR x power m plus r plus 2 equal to 0. So we have named it 4. Now we have to find values of these constants. So we start with the lowest power of x. What we do in finding the constants, we start with, we take the coefficient of different powers of x and we equate both the sides and we try to find out unknown coefficients. So here we should remember, I don't know I have told before or not, that a naught is not equal to 0. This is the condition. Here you write that a naught is not equal to 0. So a naught is not 0. Remaining values we have to find. And what is a naught? That also we will take as suitable for Bessel's function. So what is the lowest power here? R is varying from 0 to infinity. So if I ask you what is the lowest power of x possible, that is possible for r equal to 0. Obviously for higher powers of r, this power will also increase. So lowest power is when I put r equal to 0. So the lowest power will be x power m. If I put r equal to 0 here, the power will be m plus 2. So what is the lowest power? X power m. So let's write here that comparing coefficients of x power m. So now what is the coefficient of x power m on left hand side? That comes with r equal to 0. So put r equal to 0 here. So it will give a0 m plus 0 whole square minus n square. So left hand side gives a0 m square minus n square. Since r is 0, x power r, that coefficient only, and right hand side is 0 for everything, so this is 0. Now since we have taken the condition a0 cannot be 0, so if a0 is not 0, that means this value has to be 0, so which gives m square is equal to n square, and it is m is equal to plus minus n. So we have got two values of m equal to n and m equal to minus n. Now we know in general second order means when second derivative is there, for those equation we have the answer as y equal to c1 y1 plus c2 y2. So y1 means one function would be given by m equal to n and other function would be given by m equal to minus n. So one by one we have to discuss both the cases. Now let's compare powers of x power m plus 1. Now comparing coefficient of x power m plus 1. So how to find x power m plus 1? When we put r equal to 1 here. When I put r equal to 1 here. If I put r, this term will give the lowest power as x power m plus 2 only. So this will only give x power m plus 1. So put r equal to 1 here. So we are getting a1 m plus 1 whole square minus n square, and right hand side is 0. So product of these two terms should be 0. Now you think, is it possible that this is 0? Either this has to be 0 or this has to be 0. So if we just think about this, is it possible that this is 0? No. Why I can say this? By this previous result. Since m square has to be n square. So if you put m square is n square, this term will not be 0. So if this term is not 0, then what may be the 0? a1 may be the 0. So this implies that a1 is 0. Since this term cannot be 0 based on the previous result. Now we have got a0, a1. Now compare the highest power. Comparing coefficient of, if not highest, you can say the common term, common power of x power m plus r plus 2. Now this is x power m plus r plus 2. So we can take this coefficient. How to get coefficient of x power m plus r plus 2 from this term? How this term will be m plus r plus 2? Since r is varying from 0 to infinity, so we can take any value. So if I put r is equal to r plus 2, this will become m plus r plus 2. So what I have to do? I have to write r equal to r plus 2 in first term. So if I write r equal to r plus 2 in first term, what I am getting? A r plus 2, then this gives m plus r plus 2 minus r n square. So this is the coefficient from first term. Then coefficient from second term is, what is the coefficient? AR. AR is equal to 0. Okay. So here we have taken coefficient of x power m plus r plus 2. So let's again see how I have written this. So in this equation number 4, second term is directly having power in terms of m plus r plus 2. So what is the coefficient there? AR. So I have taken AR. In first term, x power m plus r is only there. But what we need m plus r plus 2. So how I can get that? Since r is moving, r can be taken any value, 0 to infinity. So r plus 2 is also one of the value between 0 to infinity. So I can write r equal to r plus 2. As we generalize n plus 1 at term, n plus 2 at term, like that only. R plus 2 at term we have to take. So I have written r equal to r plus 2. So everywhere I have written r equal to r plus 2. So it will become a r plus 2, m plus r plus 2 whole square. So m plus r plus 2 whole square minus n square and this. So now how I can find a values of a r plus 2? This equation can be written as minus ar divided by m plus r plus 2 whole square minus n square. This value of r plus 2, this coefficient in terms of a rth term I have written. This formula, this value is known as recurrence relation. That equation 5 is called recurrence relation or recurrence formula. Recurrence means reoccurrence. Again and again something occurring, repeating or appearing. So this will only generate all the remaining constants. This is why it is known as recurrence formula. So if I put r equal to 0 here, what value I will get? A2. If I put r equal to 1, it will give A3. So by giving the values of r to this formula only, I can find all the remaining constants. Now I need not to compare the term every time. That is why it is known as recurrence formula. So now here one question is, why we have taken these two? Why we could not generate these two from this formula only? Because here the difference between these two suffix, these two term is of 2. So we cannot find 0, because to find 0, what value I should give here? Minus r equal to minus 2, which is not possible since r is non-negative value. R is varying from 0 to infinity. So minimum value it can take is 0. Similarly, we cannot find a1. So that is why these two we have find out using the comparison of the powers of x, and then we have established recurrence formula. Now using this, let's find out the remaining values. So to find A1, A2, if I put r equal to 0 here, I will get A2. So A2 is minus A0 when r is 0, m plus n, or let's make it, let's apply the conditions here. So this is the recurrence relation which I have resolved in factors. A square minus b square formula I have applied, a plus b, a minus b. So when we do a plus b, we get this factor m plus r plus 2 plus n, and a minus b, m plus r plus 2 minus n. Now we have already find out that conditions on m. M may be plus minus n. So let's consider these two cases one by one. So first case is when m is equal to n. So substitute this value here. When I put m equal to n here, this plus n minus n is cancelled. So we get r plus 2 only. When we put n equal to n here, so we get r plus 2 plus 2n. And this ar. So this is the recurrence relation when condition is m is equal to n. So using this recurrence relation, let's find out the remaining constants. So when r is 0, a2. R is 0, a2 minus a0 when r is 0, 2, and it is n plus 1. 2 I have taken common, so let's write it 2 square. Okay, when we put r equal to 0, you should check it on your own, substitute r equal to 0 and let's see what you are getting. So you must be getting this. When r is equal to 1, when r is 1, a3, r is 1, a3 minus a1 divided by, this is 3, and when r is 1, 2n plus 3. What is this value equal to? What is the value of a1? a1 is 0. You check the previous values, a1 is 0. So this becomes 0. So if you see, all the constant, all the odd values will be coming in terms of a1 only. Okay. So let's take one more value when r is 2. So when r is 2, it is a4 minus a2. How I am writing? I am substituting these values, values of r in this recurrence relation number 6. So minus a2 divided by 4 when r is 2, 2n plus 4. Okay. Now what is a2? Substitute value of a2 here. So when I substitute this value here, I am getting minus 1 whole square This is minus and this is again minus. So why I am not writing it plus? Since we have to see the pattern of negative and positive. So minus 1 power whole square a naught divided by 4 into 2 n plus 2 I have written, and this value is 2 square n plus 1. So let's simplify this furthermore. So minus 1 whole square a naught. What are the powers of 2 here? 1, 3 and 2, 5. 2 power 5. And n plus 2, n plus 1. So this is the value of a4. And again, if you find a5, that will be 0 again. So let's find 2 more values, then we will try to summarize this. So now find out a5. So after this we can conclude for a5, r should be 3. So if I put r equal to 3, it will be a3. So a3 is again 0. So that means all the odd coefficients would be 0. That I can conclude all are 0. Now let's find out a6. a6 means what I have to substitute? R equal to 4. So when I put r equal to 4, it is minus a4 divided by 6 2n plus 6. Now what is a4? Substitute this value of a4 from here. So what I am getting? Minus 1 power 3. Why it is 3? 2 is already there and 1 negative sign is again we are getting a3. Minus 1 power 3 a naught divided by this value is 6 into 2 n plus 3. And what is there? And 2 power 5 n plus 2 n plus 1. So let's say if we can make some pattern, minus 1 power 3 divided by 2 power 6 or factorial 3 we can make. This 6 I can write factorial 3. It is 2 power 6 n plus 3 n plus 2 n plus 1. So if I have written this factorial 3, I should write that factorial 2 here. Okay, so what we can write this again, let's write this value here, minus 1 to a naught 2 power 2 factorial, and what is remaining? 2 power 4 n plus 2 n plus 1. Okay, so we have got these values. Now we have to substitute these values in the solution which we assumed. Okay. So now let's substitute these values in the solution we assumed. So what solution we assumed? In equation number 2, solution we had taken in the form of series AR x power m plus r. So now we are taking these values for the case when m equal to n. So put m equal to n there and then we will write this. So let's expand this for your reference. Let's expand this. R is varying from 0 to infinity. So when I put r equal to 0, it is a0 x power m plus a1. a1, a3, a7 are 0. Values are 0. So I am skipping that. So r equal to 1 is 0. Then r equal to 2. a2 x power m plus 2 plus a4 x power m plus 4 plus a6 x power m plus 6 and so on. So now let's substitute m equal to n here and the corresponding values of these constants. So when I write, so we can write from equation number 2 for the case m is equal to n. So y is a naught x power n plus then a2 x power n plus 2, a4 x power n plus 4, a6 x power n plus 6 and so on. Now substitute these values. A naught x power n is common throughout, so let's take these values common. Here we are left with 1. Then what is a2? a2 is minus a0 by this. So my a0 we have already taken common, so minus 1 by 2 square n plus 1. What is the value of x? What is the power of x left? X power n we have taken common, so square is left. Okay, you can compare these values. Then plus minus 1 whole square is plus we have taken, so plus a0 is again common, so 1 by 2 factorial 2 power 4 n plus 2 n plus 1 and x power 4 minus, substituting a6, minus 1 by 3 factorial 2 power 6 n plus 3 n plus 2 n plus 1 and x power 6 and so on. Let's simplify this again. a0 x power n 1 minus, shall I write this n plus 1 and x by 2 whole square. This is, these powers I have taken common with together, plus 1 by factorial 2 n plus 2 n plus 1 x by 2 whole power 4. Okay, then minus 1 by factorial 3 n plus 3 n plus 2 n plus 1 x by 2 power 6 and so on. Now this, in this term a0 is still unknown. We have not given any value. So let's assume a0 in such a way so that we can summarize this. So we take some particular value of a0 here. Since we are doing some particular case, some particular function, so we have to assume the same value as Bessels has done it. So let's assume a0 is equal to 1 by 2 power n gamma n plus 1. So what is the value we have taken? 1 by 2 power n gamma n plus 1. What is gamma function? We know what is gamma function. Gamma n plus 1 is factorial n. This is the relation between gamma function and factorial function. So let's substitute this value here. So let's substitute these values in this equation. So what we are getting? X power n by 2 power n gamma n plus 1, and in bracket 1 minus 1 by n plus 1 whole square x by 2 whole square plus 1 by factorial 2 n plus 2 n plus 1 x by 2 power whole 4 minus 1 by factorial 3 n plus 3 n plus 2 n plus 1 x by 2 power whole 6 and so on. So let's multiply this value in the bracket term. So first term is x power n 2 power n gamma n plus 1 minus, this is factorial 2. No, nothing is there. Okay. So minus here 1 by 2. This is x by 2 power n. So I can write n, or let's I hope you would understand, x by 2 power n plus 2. Check again, x by 2 whole power n. We can write this here also. Let's make it like that. X by 2 power n, since both has same power. So when x by 2 power n is multiplied here, x by 2 power n plus 2 gamma n plus 1 gamma n plus 1 plus 1 by factorial 2 gamma n plus 1 n plus 2 n plus 1 x by 2 whole power n plus 4 minus 1 by factorial 3 n plus 3 n plus 2 n plus 1 gamma n plus 1 x by 2 power n plus 6 and so on. Okay. Now what is the property of gamma n? Gamma n is, let me write here, since gamma n is, or gamma n plus 1 is n gamma n. So n gamma n can be written as n plus 1. So apply the same property here. N plus 1 gamma n plus 1 can be written as gamma n plus 2. Okay. So using this property we will summarize this equation. So let's write this equation. 1 by gamma n plus 1 x by 2 power n minus 1 by gamma n plus 2 x by 2 power n plus 2 plus 1 by factorial 2 gamma n plus 2 n plus 3. Are we getting there? Gamma n plus 2, n plus 2, n plus 1. So n plus 1 gamma n plus 1 will be gamma n plus 2 and n plus 2 gamma n plus 2 will be gamma n plus 3 and x by 2 power n plus 4 minus 1 by factorial 3 gamma n plus 4 x by 2 whole power n plus 6 and so on. Now let's summarize this in series. So we have got the solution, but now we cannot remember this. So let's summarize this and write down the series form. Okay, so now we have to summarize this series in summation form. So summation over r is varying from 0 to infinity. So now for r equal to 0, we must get first equation. Similarly for r equal to 1, this, 2 this and 3 this. So check the pattern and write down the values. So first let's write value for gamma. So when r should be 0, that gamma value should be n plus 1. So I can write n plus r plus 1. So when r is 0, it is giving n plus 1. When r is 1, it is giving n plus 2. For 2, it is giving n plus 3. So we have summarized gamma value there as gamma n plus r plus 1. Now check for the powers of x by 2. So what value I should give for powers of x by 2? So again, when r is 0, it should be n. When r is 1, it should be 2. When r is 2, it should be 4. So I can say power should be n plus 2r. So now you can verify, are we getting the same terms there? When r is 0, it is n. When r is 1, it is n plus 2. When r is 2, it is n plus 4, like that. Now we are having alternate plus minus sign. So I can say this value should be minus r power minus 1 power r. So check, verify, are we getting the same terms if we expand this series as